Our great Mikado, virtuous man, when COVID-19 spread began, resolved to try a plan whereby the curve might best be steadied. So he decreed in words succinct that all who flirted, leered, or winked, unless connubially linked, should forthwith be beheaded, 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 should forthwith be beheaded. I am sure you'll all agree that he was right to so decree, and I am right, and you are right, and all is right as right can be, and you are right, and we are right, and all is right as right can be, and all is right as right can be, right as right can be. If you want to know who we are, we're white men obsessed with Japan. To conventions we travel far, with many a super fan. We figure in lively paint, our attitudes clear and quaint. You're wrong if you think it ain't. Oh! If you think we are worked by strings, like a Japanese marionette, you don't understand these things. It is simply court etiquette. Perhaps you suppose this throng can't keep it up all day long. If that's your idea, you're wrong. Oh, oh, if that's your idea, you're wrong. If you want to know who we are gentlemen of Japan. On bus and jar, on screen and fan, on many, 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 many a jar. Oh, 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 on bus and a jar, on screen and fan. Gentlemen, I pray you tell me, where a gentle maiden dwelleth named Yum Yum, the ward of Coco. In pity speak, oh speak, I pray you. Why, who are you who ask this question? Come, gather round me, and I'll tell you. A wandering minstrel I, a thing of shreds and patches, of ballad songs and snatches, and dreamy lullaby. My catalogue is long, through every passion ranging, and to your humours changing, I tune my supple song, I tune my supple song. Are you in sentimental mood? I'll sigh with you. Oh, sorrow, on maiden's coldness do you brood. Oh, sorrow, sorrow. I'll charm your willing ears with songs of lovers' fears, while sympathetic tears my cheeks bedew. Oh, sorrow, sorrow. But if patriotic sentiment is wanted, I've patriotic ballads cut and dried, for where'er our country's banner may be planted, all other local banners are defied. Our warriors in serried ranks assembled, never quail or they conceal it if they do, and I shouldn't be surprised if nations trembled before the mighty troops, the troops of Titipu. And if you call for a song of the sea, we'll heave the capstan round, with a yo-heave ho, for the wind is free, our anchors atrip and our helms a-lee, hurrah for the homeward bound. To lay aloft in a howling breeze may tickle a landsman's taste, but the happiest hour our sailor sees is when he's down at an inland town, with his Nancy on his knee, yo-ho, and his arm around her waist. A wandering minstrel I, a thing of shreds and patches, of ballad songs and snatches, and dreamy lullaby.
And what may be your business with Yum Yum? Oh, I'll tell you. A year ago, I was a member of the Titipu Town Band. It was my duty to take the cap round for contributions. While discharging this delicate office, I saw Yum Yum. We loved each other at once, but she was betrothed to her guardian, Coco, a cheap tailor. Overwhelmed with despair, I quitted the town. But judge of my delight when a month ago I learned that Coco had been condemned to death for flirting. It is true that Coco was condemned to death for flirting, but he was reprieved at the last moment and raised to the exalted rank of Lord High Executioner. Oh, but how kind of you, for I see that you are a nobleman of the highest rank, to condescend to tell all this to me, a mere strolling minstrel. Don't mention it. I am, in point of fact, a particularly haughty and exclusive person of pre-Adamite ancestral descent. You will understand this when I tell you that I can trace my ancestry back to a protoplasmal, primordial, atomic globule. Consequently, my family pride is something inconceivable. I can't help it. I was born sneering. But I struggle hard to overcome this defect. I mortify my pride continually. When all the great officers of state resigned in a body because they were too proud to serve under an ex-tailor, did I not unhesitatingly accept all their posts at once?
Well, and the salaries attached to them.
It is consequently my degrading duty to serve this upstart Coco as First Lord of the Treasury, Commander-in-Chief, Lord Chief Justice, Lord High Admiral, Secretary of State to the Home Department, Groom of the Back Stairs, Lord Mayor, both acting and elect, all rolled into one. But I do it. It's beneath me, but I do it. And I don't stop at that. I go and dine with middle-class people on reasonable terms. I dance at cheap suburban parties for a moderate fee. I also retail state secrets at a very low figure. For example, any further information regarding Yum Yum would come under the head of a state secret. Another insult, but I think a light one.
Young man, despair, likewise go to Yum Yum the fair. You must not woo, it will not do. I'm sorry for you, you very imperfect ablutioner. This very day from school, Yum Yum will wend away and homeward come with beat of drum and a rum-a-tum-tum to wed the Lord High Executioner. And the brass will crash, and the trumpets bray, and they'll cut a dash on their wedding day. She'll toddle away as all of her with the Lord High Executioner. It's a hopeless case, as you may see, and in your case, away I'd flee. But don't blame me, I'm sorry to be of your pleasure a diminutioner. They're packed extremely soon. In point of fact, this afternoon, her honeymoon with that buffoon at 7 commences, so you shun her. And the brass will crash, and the trumpets bray, and they'll cut a dash on the wedding day. She'll toddle away as all other with the Lord High Executioner. And have I journeyed for a month, or nearly, to learn that Yum Yum, whom I love so dearly, this day to Coco is to be united. The fact appears to be as you've recited. But here he comes equipped, as suits his station. He'll give you any further information. Behold the Lord High Executioner, a personage of noble rank and title, a dignified and potent officer, whose functions are particularly vital. Defer to the Lord High Executioner. Defer to the noble Lord, to the noble Lord, to the Lord High Executioner.
Gentlemen, I am much touched by this reception. If I should ever be called upon to act professionally, I am happy to think that there will be no trouble in finding plenty of people whose cancellation would be a distinct gain to society at large. As someday it may happen that a victim must be found, I've got a little list I've got a little list of society offenders who might well be underground, and who never would be missed, There's the presidential nuisances who tweet in paragraphs, friends who insist on distancing except when crossing paths, who think that going out on dates is sheltering in place, proudly avoiding shaking hands while coughing in your face, and each health and safety bureaucrat who's not a scientist. They'd none of them be missed. And that antebellum nuisance who just now is rather rife, the white supremacist, I've got him on the list. That guy who knows just who to blame for everything in life, the conspiracy theorist, I'm sure he'd not be missed. Unapologetic statesmen of uncompromising kind, who just pander to their base, no matter who gets left behind. And voters who wish candidates could be a bit more fun, and think women should be president, except the ones who run. If your bubble is made up of all like-minded dogmatists, apart from your friend list, you probably won't be missed. Pooh-Bah, it seems that the festivities in connection with my approaching marriage must last a week. Now, I should like to do it handsomely, and I wanted to consult you as to the amount I ought to spend upon them. Certainly. In which of my capacities as First Lord of the Treasury, Lord Chief Justice, Chancellor of the Exchequer, Privy Purse, or Private Secretary? Well, suppose we say as Private Secretary. Speaking as your private secretary, I should have no hesitation in saying, well, as the city will have to pay for it, don't stint yourself, do it well. Of course, you must understand that as Chancellor of the Exchequer, I am bound to see that due economy is observed. I see. Come over here, where the Chancellor can't hear us. Now then, as my solicitor, how would you advise me to deal with this difficulty? Speaking as your solicitor, I should have no hesitation in saying, chance it. Of course, you will understand that, as Lord Chief Justice, I am bound to see that the law isn't violated. I see. Come over here, where the Chief Justice can't hear us. Now then, as First Lord of the Treasury, I could propose a special vote that would cover all expenses. Of course, as leader of the opposition, it would be my duty to oppose it, tooth and nail. Or, as Paymaster General, I could so cook the accounts that as Lord High Auditor I should never discover the fraud. But then, as Archbishop of Titipu, it would be my duty to denounce my dishonesty and turn myself into my own custody as First Commissioner of the Police. Well, that's extremely awkward. Oh, but my bride and her sisters approach.
Three little maids from school are we, pert as a schoolgirl well can be, filled to the brim with girlish glee. Three little maids from school, everything is a source of fun. Nobody's safe, for we care for none. Life is a joke that's just begun. Three little maids from school. Three little maids who all unwary come from a ladies' seminary, freed from its genius tutelary. Three little maids from school. Three little maids from school. One little maid is a bride, yum yum. Two little maids in attendance come. Three little maids for the total sum. Three little maids from school. From three little maids take one away. Two little maids remain and they won't have to wait very long, they say. Three little maids from school. Three little maids from school. Three little maids who all unwary come from a ladies' seminary, freed from a genius tutelary. Three little maids from school. Three little maids from school.
Allow me to present you, Pooh-Bah. These are my 3 wards. The one in the middle is my bride-elect.
Well, what do you want me to do to them? Mind, I shan't kiss them. Even to greet them goes against the grain. They are not young ladies. They are young persons. I am not in the habit of saying, "Howdy-do, little girls, howdy-do," to young persons. I am not in the habit of saying, "Howdy-do, little girls, howdy-do," to anyone under the rank of a stockbroker.
So please, user, we much regret if we have failed in etiquette. Towards a man of rank so high, we shall know better by and by.
But youth, of course, must have its fling, so pardon us, and don't in girlhood's happy spring be hard on us if we're inclined to dance and sing tra-la-la-la-la-la.
But youth, of course, must have its fling, so pardon us, and don't in girlhood's happy spring be hard on us. But youth, of course, must have its fling, so pardon us, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la.
I think you ought to recollect you cannot show too much respect towards the highly titled few, but nobody does, so why should you? That youth at us must have its fling is hard on us, to our prerogative we cling. So pardon us, if we decline to dance and sing tra-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la.
But youth, of course, must have its fling, so pardon us, and don't in girlhood's happy spring be hard on us. But youth, of course, must have its fling, so pardon us, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la.
Yum Yum, at last we are alone. I have sought you night and day for 3 weeks in the belief that your guardian was beheaded, and I find that you're about to be married to him this afternoon. Alas! Yes, but you do not love him. Alas! No. Well, then why do you not refuse him? Well, what good would that do? He's my guardian, and he wouldn't let me marry you. But I would wait until you were of age. Oh, you forget that in Japan, girls do not arrive at years of discretion until they are 50. True, from 17 to 49 are considered years of indiscretion. Oh, besides, a wandering minstrel who plays a wind instrument outside tea houses is hardly a fitting husband for the ward of a Lord High Executioner. Oh, but shall I tell her? Yes, she'll not betray me. What if it should prove that after all I am no musician? Well, there, I knew it directly I heard you play. What if it should prove that I am none other than the son of His Majesty, the Mikado? The son of the Mikado? But why is your Highness disguised? And what has your Highness done? And will your Highness promise never to do it again? Some years ago I had the misfortune to captivate Katisha, an elderly lady of my father's court. She misconstrued my customary affability into expressions of affection, and claimed me in marriage under my father's law. My father ordered me to marry her within the week, or perish ignominiously on the scaffold. That night I fled his court, and assuming the disguise of a second trombone, I joined the band in which you found me, when I had the happiness of seeing you. Oh! If you please, I think your Highness had better not come too near. The laws against flirting are excessively severe, but we are quite alone, and nobody can see us. Well, still, that doesn't make it right. To flirt is capital. Oh, it is capital. And we must consider the pandemic. Oh, deuce take the pandemic. Well, I wish it would, but it won't. If it wasn't for that, how happy we might be. Happy indeed. If it wasn't for the virus, we might be sitting side by side. Like that. Breathing sighs of unutterable love. Like that.
Were you not to cocoa plighted, I would say in tender tone, loved one, let us be united, let us be each other's own. I would merge our rank and station, worldly sneers are not to us, and to mark my admiration, I would kiss you fondly thus. I would kiss you fondly thus.
But as I'm engaged to Coco, to embrace you thus confoco would distinctly be no joko, and for yam I should get toco, 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 toco. So in spite of all temptation, such a theme I'll not discuss, and on no consideration will I kiss you fondly thus. Will I kiss you fondly thus? Let me make it clear to you, this is what I'll never do. This, oh this, oh this, oh this, this is what I'll never, never do. This, oh this, oh this, oh this is what I'll never do. He'll never do, I'll never do, he'll never do. Oh this is what I'll never, never do. Another 4 a.m. tweet storm from the Mikado. No executions in Titipu for a year. Sad. Unless someone is executed within 1 month. Abolish post of Lord High Executioner and reduce the city to the rank of a village? 5 question marks. Well, there's no help for it. I shall have to execute someone at once. The only question is, who shall it be?
Well, it seems unkind to say so, but seeing as you're already under sentence of death for flirting, everything seems to point to you.
To me? What are you talking about? I can't execute myself.
Well, why not?
Why not? Well, in the first place, self-decapitation is an extremely difficult, not to say dangerous thing to attempt. And in the second, as official headsman, my reputation is at stake, and I can't consent to embark on a professional operation unless I can see my way to a successful result.
Well, I'm afraid that unless you can find a substitute...
A substitute! Certainly, nothing easier. Pooh-Bah, I appoint you Lord High Substitute. Well, such an appointment would realize my fondest dreams. But no, at any price I must set bounds to my insatiable ambition.
I am so proud if I'm allowed my family pride to be my guide. I'd volunteer to quit this sphere instead of you in a minute or two. But family pride must be denied and set aside and mortified and mortified.
My brain it teems with endless schemes, both good and new, for Titipu. But if I flit the benefit that I'd diffuse, the town would lose. Now every man to aid his clan should plot and plan as best he can. I heard one day a gentleman say that criminals who I cut in two can hardly feel the fatal steel, and so are slain without much pain. If this is true, it's jolly for you, your courage screw to bid us adieu.
I am so proud.
My brain it teems.
I heard one day a gentleman say that criminals who are caught in duty can hardly feel the fatal steel, and so are slain the town would lose. If now every man to aid his clan should screw to bid us adieu. And so, although I'm ready to go, yet recollect 'twere disrespect if I neglect to thus effect this aim direct. So I object, and so, although I wish to go, and greatly pine to brightly shine, and take the line of a hero fine, with grief condign I must decline, and go and show both friend and foe how much you dare. I'm quite aware it's your affair, yet I declare I'd take your share, but I don't much care.
I must take to sit in solemn silence in a dull dark dock, in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. To sit in solemn silence in a dull dark dock, in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. A dull dark dock, a lifelong lock, a short sharp shock, a big black block. To sit in solemn silence in a pestilential prison and awaiting the sensation from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block.
Well, this is simply appalling. I, who allowed myself to be reprieved at the last moment simply in order to benefit my native town, am now required to die within a month. Is this public gratitude? Is this... Well, hey you! What are you about to do with that knife? I am about to terminate an unendurable existence. Terminate your existence? Well, nonsense. What for? Because you're about to marry the girl I adore. Well, nonsense, sir. I won't permit it. Are you aware that in taking your own life, you are committing a crime, which... Substitute. Are you absolutely resolved to die? Oh, absolutely. And will nothing whatsoever shake your determination? Nothing. My mind's made up. Well then, if you really mean what you say, and you are absolutely resolved to die, don't spoil yourself by committing suicide, but be beheaded handsomely at the hands of the public executioner. I don't see how that would benefit me. You don't? Well, observe. You'll have a month to live, and you'll live like a fighting cock at my expense. When the day comes, there'll be a grand public ceremonial. You'll be the central figure. No one will attempt to deprive you of that distinction. There'll be a procession, bands, dead march, bells tolling, all the girls in tears, Yum Yum distracted. And then, when it's all over, general rejoicings and a display of fireworks in the evening. You won't see them, but they'll be there all the same. I'll tell you how we'll manage it. You let me marry Yum Yum tomorrow, and in a month you may behead me. Well, come now, be reasonable. How can I consent to your marrying Yum Yum when I'm about to marry her myself? My good friend, she'll be a widow in a month, and you can marry her then. Well, yes, that's true, I quite see that, but, oh dear me, my position during the next month would be most unpleasant. Most unpleasant. Well, not half so unpleasant as mine at the end of it. Well, all right, I agree. After all, it is only putting off my marriage for a month.
With aspect stern and gloomy stride, we come to learn how you decide. Don't hesitate, your choice to name. A dreadful fate you'll suffer all the same. A dreadful fate you'll suffer all the same.
To ask you what you mean to do, we punctually appear. Congratulate me, gentlemen, I found a volunteer.
The Japanese equivalent for here.
'Tis Nanki-Poo.
Nanki-Poo.
I think he'll do.
Yes, he'll do.
He yields his life if I'll Yum Yum surrender. Now I adore that girl with passion tender, and could not yield her with a ready will, or her a lot, if I did not adore myself with passion tenderer still, with passion tenderer still.
For yes, he loves himself with passion tenderer still.
Take her, she's yours. The threatened cloud has passed away, and brightly shines the dawning day. What though the night may come too soon, we've yet a month of afternoon.
Then let the throng advance with laughing song and merry dance. Then let the throng of joy advance with laughing song and merry dance, with laughing song and merry dance, with laughing song. With joyous shout, and ringing cheer, inaugurate every career. With joyous shout and ringing cheer, inaugurate every career. With joyous shout and ringing cheer, inaugurate every career.
Your revel cease, assist me all of you.
Who is this whose evil eyes rain light on our festivities?
I claim my perjured lover, Nanki-Poo. Oh, fool, to shun the lights that never close.
Though leave the dead he were undone.
Come back, oh shallow fool, come back to joy.
Away, away, ill-favored one.
Ah, 'tis Katisha, the maid of whom I told you.
No, you shall not go, these arms shall thus enfold you. Oh, for the pleased, my hallowed joys, a blind that seest no equipoise. Oh, rash the judgest from earth the whole. Oh, beast that grudgest love's lightest dole. That unbind, oh fool, oh blind, give me my place, oh rash, oh base. Thy heart unbind, give me my place, oh fool, oh blind, oh rash, oh base. Thy heart unbind, give me my place.
If she's thy bride, restore her place, O fool, O blind, O rash, O base.
Pink cheek that rulest, where wisdom serves, bright eye that foolest, heroic nerves. Rose lip that scornest, love laden years, smooth tongue that warnest who rightly hears. Thy doom is nigh, pink cheek, bright eye. Thy knell is rung, rose lip, smooth tongue. Thy doom is nigh, thy knell is rung, pink cheek, bright eye, rose lip, smooth tongue. Thy doom is nigh, thy knell is rung.
If true her tale, thy man is wrong. Pink cheek, bright eye, rose lip, smooth tongue.
Away, nor prosecute your quest from our intentions well expressed. You cannot turn us. The state of your connubial views towards the person you accuse does not concern us. For he's going to marry Yum Yum.
Yum Yum,
Your anger pray bury, for all will be merry. I think you had better succumb
come, come,
and join our expressions of glee. On this subject we pray you be dumb.
dum dum,
You'll find there are many who wed for a penny. The word for your guidance is mum.
mum mum.
There's lots of good fish in the sea.
On this subject we pray you be dumb, dum dum. We think you had better succumb, come, come. You'll find there are many who wed for a penny, who wed for a penny. There are lots of good fish in the sea. There are lots of good fish in the sea. There's lots of good fish in the sea. There's lots of good fish in the sea, in the sea, in the sea, in the sea, in the sea.
The hour of gladness is dead and gone. In silent sadness I live alone. The hope I cherished, all lifeless lies, and all has perished. All is perished, save love, which never dies, which never, never dies. Oh, faithless one, this insult you shall rue. In vain for mercy, on your knees you'll sue. I'll tear the mask from your disguising.
Now comes the blow.
Prepare yourselves for no surprising.
How foil my foe?
No minstrel here, despite bravado.
Ah, I know.
Is the son of your
Clorinda,
unveiled
interrupt with this tornado. He is the only son of the I'll spawn. Your gay gambado, he is the son of the son of you! Ye torrents roar, ye tempests howl, your wrath outpour with angry growl. Do ye almost my vengeance cause? Arise, triumphant over all.
We'll hear no more ill-omened howl, to joy we soar despite your scowl. The echoes of our festival shall rise triumphant.